I am speaking again on Bill 22, but also on the current developments that continue to happen in education. And so I'll start with Bill 22 and move on to some of the other acts that are before the legislature at this time as well. So Bill 22 addresses union bargaining issues as well as the government's response to Justice Griffin's April 13, 2011 decision that found the government's 2002 stripping of teachers' collective agreements both unconstitutional and illegal. As well, it provides for a cooling off period. Unfortunately, it seems only teachers were required to cool off. The government has continued their assault on public education with the passing of Bill 33, a ruling by the Labour Relations Board to ensure struck work was completed by requiring the production of term 2 report cards, the demand for specialist reports to accompany report cards, and now we also have Bill 25 before the legislature, and then there's the announcement of the cooperative gains mandate. Another trip before the LRB to decide if teachers can be directed to provide volunteer and extracurricular services before school, at recess, lunch, after school, evenings, and weekends. And hot off the press, just before I left to come this evening, is the information from BCPC's application. And this following list is work that they do consider teachers' work, and this may occur outside the instructional hours, but it's still required of teachers that they volunteer for artistic, dramatic, and musical performances, coaching, student teams, student clubs, student tutorials, student groups, and student organizations. Who knew that that was part of the teacher's mandate? Are we actually still working and living under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms? And what part of the last month has constituted a cooling off period for the Liberal government? Bill 22 also provided for a government-appointed mediator, Dr. Yago, an academically capable man, but with no experience in mediation, a confirmed Liberal financial backer, and the author of a 2006 paper which is clearly unfavorable to the essence of public education, and who is significantly restricted by the government's own terms of reference. Any mediation proposal must include the net zero mandate, contains the contract strips mandated by BCPC, and gives the final say on whether the mediator's recommendations will go ahead to the CEO of PSEC, Public Sector Employees Council, Paul Strasier. We'll all have to wait for June 30th to see how successful the imposition of a biased appointee with a limited mandate is on the mediation process. And what else does Bill 22 intend to do? The effect of Bill 22 is to make it easier to create larger classes and classes with unlimited numbers of students with special needs. It erodes even the minimal protections that are contained in the class size and composition legislation known as Bill 33. It eliminates consent and consultation meetings with teachers on class size and composition, and now there is no accountability on these issues. It purports to allow for bargaining on class size and other workload issues after June 30th, 2013, although the collective agreement language that was stripped in 2002 is not restored. It creates a learning improvement fund, the distribution of which is at the discretion of the minister. There is no legislative guarantees on the amount, just a ministerial order directing the consultative process. It also generates another ministerial order on class size, the imposition of a cash for kids formula for classes over 30, and classes of teachers who do not qualify and can have unlimited numbers of students. It has an onerous offence provision for the BCTF and its members, up to $22 million a day, twice what BP Oil was fined when it destroyed an entire ecosystem in the Gulf of Mexico, in the event that teachers should have a strike during the cooling off period from the date of the legislation until August 31st, 2012.